It's a symbol of the United States and its leadership. It is constantly visible, and the president of Greece, international leaders after landing, and numerous press briefings take place inside of it when it's flying. You've already guessed that we're talking about the Air Force One, the jet that transports President Trump across the country.
But before the video starts, like and subscribe, or this clown will appear outside your window tonight.
But it's a very special and highly capable jet that we want to show you more of, from missile defense to the operating room. While we think of Air Force One as a distinguishing blue and white jet, technically any jet the president boards becomes Air Force One. However, once President Trump boards this jet, the journey from the White House to Andrews Air Force Base becomes a military operation. While Air Force One is being flown by a military crew, the Air Force transfers the presidential convoy ahead to whatever destination the president chooses. The destination necessitates extensive effort and flight specification coordination. Although several different types of planes have served as Air Force One, the current aircraft in use are both Boeing 747-200s, both of which were introduced in 1990. Each boasts 4 engines, which provide 56,700 pounds of thrust, catapulting the plane to a top speed of nearly 700 miles an hour, about 10% shy of the speed of sound. Not only can it fly fast, but it can also carry a single full tank, which carries 53,611 gallons. These planes can fly halfway around the world. Air Force One also cruises higher than the average airliner at 45,000 feet instead of 30,000 feet. Each has 4 engines that provide 56,700 pounds of thrust per piece, propelling the plane to a peak speed of over 700 miles per hour. Naturally, all of the amenities featured in Air Force One make it an extremely costly jet. According to estimates, it would cost US taxpayers more than $206,000 to operate this jet for 1 hour. Expect that price to rise as additional features are introduced. The next generation of Air Force One aircraft is expected to be much more costly, with the project currently anticipated to cost over $3.7 billion. So let's take a look at the 6 incredible technologies that Air Force One has. Before we move on, like and subscribe, or this clown will appear outside your window tonight. Number 1. Missile defense. When you're the most powerful person in the world, you will have many opponents. While the president's security on the ground is one thing, it's another to safeguard Americans. Air Force One is another example of leadership while in the air. If a missile is fired, it supposedly comes in swift with lights and chaff, which are generally only found in military planes. Air Force One can use this dummy aircraft to try to escape the threat. The jet is said to have more advanced defense built in. Some rumors claim that the Air Force One can jam radar on the outside. Strange pods on the wings and tails hint at some form of tracking and jamming system that may be employed to defend against missiles, whatever they are. We've never seen them on another 747. Number 2. Onboard communications. When you are president, you must always stay in touch with the people and the globe around you. Never mind having only 2 phones. On Air Force One, the president has 85. While this may appear to be a little bit ridiculous, according to reports, they are divided into phones and multi-frequency radios, and many are unclassified and intended for general use. Others have classified uses that have not been made public except for the phone issue. The plane also includes an advanced communication system that appears to be of such high quality that it may serve as a command headquarters for military operations during a conflict. If it's CNN, the president should check in on this plane, which has around 20 televisions throughout. There's no news on whether any of these are connected to a PS4 or an Xbox One. Furthermore, it should come as no surprise that Air Force One has a top-of-the-line Wi-Fi system. The service is offered by the business via SAT, so there aren't many planes out there that can compete as well as Air Force One. We're just getting started. The next 4 secrets are bigger and better than these, so make sure to watch it until the end. Number 3. Creature comforts. While Air Force One is largely a flying office and command post in the sky, it must also be a good location where the president can relax and rest in between planned visits. As a result, it's outfitted with some unique features in addition to a private bedroom in the sky. When passengers are hungry, the president can use a shower and bathroom as well as a tiny gym. Air Force One's 2 chefs can prepare up to 100 meals, all of which appear to be delicious. The president may use Air Force One as a flying office and strategic center if necessary. Essentially, he can govern the country and its military forces from the air if necessary. There is a conference room aboard this 747, which is essentially a situation room where the president may convene with his senior advisors. There is also a giant TV screen on the ground where individuals on the ground may video conference with a team in the air. In summary, even when the president is somewhere over the Pacific, it's as if he never left the office. Number 4. Nuclear proof. While most passenger jets are equipped to withstand storms and high turbulence, Air Force One goes above and beyond. The president's jet is designed to withstand a nuclear attack, so it can't absorb a full-on bombardment and survive. That's inconceivable. Air Force One, on the other hand, is carefully protected against impacts, ensuring that its delicate electronics and communications equipment remain operational. That is critical if the unthinkable occurs and the president is required to direct operations from the air. Number 5. Doomsday. While Air Force One planes are among the most well-known in the American Army, the Doomsday plane is likely the most competent, with at least 4 in existence. Their mission is to constantly accompany Air Force One to pick up the president in the event of a major disaster, but much of the information surrounding it remains classified. What is known is that they are a set of EB-4 Advanced Airborne Command Posts. They were first developed during the height of the Cold War, and their combined aerial nuclear bunker and command center feature an array of defense mechanisms, including protection against thermal and nuclear radiation, the ability to withstand electromagnetic pulses, and a communication system that's reportedly the best on the planet and considered to be the best plane for the president to be on. They also act as flying machines. Hundreds of military analysts, strategists, and communication aides work in war rooms to help the president through the initial days of a hypothetical nuclear war. As a result, these aircraft are fantastic. Yet, despite their incredibleness, it's unclear what rotation of planes is employed. While the Air Force does not keep their Doomsday planes completely hidden, they have seldom spoken about them, and there are certain aircraft in the Doomsday Squad that the Air Force will not even openly acknowledge possessing in their inventory. Given their importance to US national security, this is probably for the best. Number 6. Medical supplies. Given what you've already known about this incredible jet, you knew it had to include medical facilities. Air Force One has a medical annex and a personal doctor on board who can take care of almost all of the president's medical requirements. This whole thing just sort of spills out and sits down. Over the top is the surgical setup for the OR light. This space may be swiftly converted into an operating room and contains all of the lights and equipment required by a doctor if the need arises. It also has a treatment area for 6 staff members who are unable to travel due to health issues. When we fly overseas, if someone's extremely sick, we often decide to bring them back on this plane since the journey may be long and we don't want to put them on a plane where there is no medical personnel or access to treatment. So whether it's a domestic, foreign, or family trip, the President of the United States exclusively flies an Air Force One. That brings us to the end of this video. Air Force One is 100 times bigger compared to these 5 smallest aircrafts in the world, so check them out.